quick question, show of hands. How many marketers or communications professionals do we have out there? Pretty good amount. How many business owners do we have out there? Pretty good amount as well. So, as you guys understand, one of the major challenges out there is to share your story, to get in front of people so they can understand what your business does, how they can learn more, partner, buy, invest, whatever we need to do, right? So one way we continue to learn how to share that story, do a little bit better, is by using photos, infographics, and now more and more people are using video to share their story. Creating those components is easier than it has been historically. However, there's still one problem, which is different media companies need those components in different formats. Sending the 250 meg video is still a pain in the neck. Getting somebody the right resolution is still difficult. So what ISEBOX solves, or to kind of take it back, historically when we share those stories, you've sent out kind of a traditional press release. It's all copies sent out through PR Newswire, what I call a spray and pray approach, and hopefully people pick it up. Usually they don't. Now, PR Newswire, Business Wire, they have something called multi-view. You can include photos and video, but it costs around $4,000 to do that. It's not inexpensive. So ISEBOX is here to solve that problem. How can we share these different components, push them out to thousands of people simply and quickly, allow them to download this content in the format they need and track that? So with that, I will pass it over to my good friend Sal, who built the platform. He's going to give you guys a demo and frame this a little bit, and we'll open up to questions from there.
Cool. Thanks, Joe. All right, just by weak show of hands, murmur, meh, whatever, how many of you don't use Dropbox regularly, but have received a link from someone that says, here's some files for Dropbox, right? Kind of annoying, because you have to create the account, and you have to sign up and all that. Let's go on the other side of that. You need to send a bunch of files, some videos, some content, documents, images to somebody, all in one place. You're probably going to use Dropbox or something similar, right? Because you're just annoying one person. It's okay. The same rule applies to FTP, to online file servers, all this kind of stuff, right? It's a hassle if you have a lot of content, especially if it's heavy content. And Joe was talking about the public relations kind of industry, right? I'm going to take that back to public distribution, right? That's the business we're in, public distribution. And you may want to sell video games or airline tickets or the image for your charity, okay? So what do? You have a bunch of videos, a bunch of content, you need to get it out. And you're not sending it to one person, you're not annoying one person with please create a Dropbox account or whatever the series of steps it might be. You're annoying now 5,000 people. You're sending this link out, you're publishing it out, you're saying, I need the world to get my content, right? That's a lot of negative energy coming back on your brand and a lot of people that are not going to do what you want them to do, and that is give coverage to your particular brand. So you're trying to sell tickets, you're trying to sell the image for your charity, you're trying to sell video games, so you want to get out screenshots of your video game, you want to get out pictures and video clips of the new A380 landing, and you want to get pictures of Bill Gates in Africa doing charity work out to everybody, right? The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is a client of ours. They are not allowed to use Firefox, by the way, in there. Okay, but they are allowed to use Chrome, interestingly. Okay, so what are some of the precursors to us? Okay, here's a press release, some images. I can't download them. If I'm doing a print magazine, there's no way I can do anything with these. They're not high enough resolution. But I can email somebody down here, and I can wait a couple days, whatever it might be. Here's another. Joe was mentioning PR Newswire. This is their offering. It's no SaaS. There's no tracking. There's no analytics. There's nothing there. Just some content on a page, some images. Click here to download. It doesn't download. It opens in my browser. It's really, a pain in the neck to really get anything here, and people just kind of check out. Because these are the only ways you really have to get all this heavy content out to people. And Joe's talking about 250 megabyte videos. That's common. Also common are 1-2 gigabyte videos. You want people getting on your FTP, downloading that, things are crashing, things are going down. So what's our response to this? Something like this, okay? And this caters to, I'm not going to say laziness, but to ease and convenience, right? So this is Qatar. They went from what you saw here to this. And Just, your basics, things we're familiar with. We have our video player. I can download that video there in a 220 meg video clip. Also an MP4, also an FLV. Some proprietary stuff here that we kind of built is this download all, okay? I can download all the documents, one click, all the videos, 4.02 gigabytes for all the videos, okay? Because people don't want to go through every single clip and click on download, okay? So that's what we cater to. And what happens when you distribute to 5,000 people or more, or whatever it might be? Everyone has a different need. This guy says, I need a small image for my blog. This guy says, I need a high res for my print magazine. This guy wants a FLV because he doesn't have whatever, and he's not mobile, and it just never ends, right? So what do? You upload your best quality content. We're going to prepare it in low res, high res. We're going to prepare that MP4, that FLV, that original broadcast quality video footage. A lot of people don't want to download the video at all, so we'll give them an embed code. We get around all of that, creating an account, logging in, all this kind of stuff with this optional feature that we have built in, which is social authentication. People, one click, you'll see here, literally one click. I log in with Facebook, and it will log me in, announces I'm logged in with Facebook, and I can get that embed code in different flavors. Okay? So this is really one-stop content delivery for the masses. Dropbox, great peer-to-peer. There's really no solutions out there that are serving, one entity to the thousands and making it easy for all of them. So this is the front end, and that's really all there is to it. People put in their text, our clients, and they put in all of their press release text at the bottom. Our thinking is nobody cares about the text, no one reads it. It's a visual world, right? People they want to download the clip, they want to watch a video. When's the last time you read a 2-page press release? Really? Okay. And Activision, same thing. Okay? They went from what you saw before to this. What are we doing? We're doing the content preparation distribution via cloud and Akamai CDN. But the layer on top of that, most important to our clients, tracking who's downloading. Okay? So I'm going to walk you through quickly on the back end. Here's the Qatar dashboard. I'll show you actually the one there that we were looking at. So I'll click on edit here. So I'm in here, I can set a bunch of options. I want download enabled, I can turn it on and off, embed enabled, all of these different options. If I don't want people to log in, I just want to get the content out there, I can do that too. And just disable the social login there. Drop in my text, and then the real easy part, and this caters to our clients just as it does to the people on the front end getting the content. Easy, right? This is enterprise software. This doesn't look like enterprise software. Right? Big green buttons, save, exit, not tiny Salesforce buttons. I love Salesforce, but you can't find anything. Okay? Human motions, move your content around, add your text, set your default image. Same exact process for video, audio, and documents. Just upload your content, it goes in, we process it, we do all the nifty stuff, creating it for all your different audiences and all that, and then you hit go live, right? So actually I'll show you what the go live button looks like. Go live button is this green button. So they got 2 more here waiting in the wings. There's push that, it's live. Okay? So that's the one layer that ISEBOX has, preparing that content. And then it's all the reports. So we're going to give a bunch of traffic, all your video plays, embed locations. Content downloads are probably the most insightful for our users. And let's see here. I know they have a lot of content. Oh, I know what happened. I'm pulling up video plays while I did this. That or the Wi-Fi's slowing down on me. Okay, Wi-Fi seems to be slowing up on me. Anyway, when this comes up, it's going to show us a list of all the content downloads. And what we get in there is, weird, right?
It'll just come up. It's just slow internet.
Reports. Yeah, it's slow. It timed out on me. So what we're doing is when people use that social login, it gets all of their information, their name, their email address, where they work, what city they're from, their job title, all of this information, what your most popular image is, what your most popular video clip, all your pieces of content, what are people downloading, what are they consuming, where is traffic coming from. Our clients don't really care too much about who gets the content. They want to know that it's out there, and they want to see what the return on investment is. Yeah, this thing just completely stopped. My Wi-Fi just stopped working here completely.
Just touch on the email push system too.
What's that?
Just talk a little bit about the push, the emails.
Push as well. Okay. So push distribution is a big question. So they always say, what can you do to help me get the content out, right? So we provide a URL. It's fully customizable, all that stuff. And internet just is not loading anything anymore. Upload a distribution list, 10,000 media contacts. It sends out to the media, and it gives you an email-friendly version of the page, of the same page. It goes out to their inbox, one click, page comes up, they can consume all the content they want. No, please log in, no, please create an account, no, download this, no FTP, none of that. And that's the fluidity that our clients look for. And they range all these different sectors: public relations, video content production, events, education and nonprofits. Arizona State University is a client. Philadelphia Tourism Board is a client of ours. And there's a few other examples of people that are using our platform. So we're about 3 years in. Bootstrap still, so no funding, just off of a lot of mistakes and learning. And there's been a lot of those, both in the business development side, which you can speak to probably more than I am. I'm behind a few screens any given day. But technically also. So things like, a video file you want it to download instead of open in your browser. That's something that nobody's figuring out. In our business, we figured it out. Creating a package to download all the content in one zip file. These are things that 50% of our downloads are packages. That download all button you saw, 50% of our downloads are that. So people want one-click everything. And these are the things that we listen to our users on both ends, the audience and the publisher, and we try to build a better platform out of that.
Great, thanks. Time for a few questions.
There we go. Yeah, it's back.
We believed you.
Okay. Now we know that it's actually there, right? Everybody's name. I'm not going to show you that too long. I don't want anybody stealing any data.
Does the text that you add to each picture become the alt text so that it's searchable? And
Sure.
The second question is, how does this help you do more affordable and effective press releases? I get the effective part, the picture-based news, but how does that lower my cost of getting it out there?
Good question. So one, yes, it is SEO friendly. Oh, sorry.
Right.
Okay.
So the question was, are all the images, the descriptions and titles you add, is that added to the alt text and meta tags and metadata of the page? It is. And the other part was, how does this increase my effectiveness and lower my costs? For press releases. So to the first part, yes, that's all. All the text you add in there is in the page. It's searchable. It's indexed. It's meta tagged. It's alt tagged. And for the other part,
To answer the other question is yes. Well, the first component is how can it be more efficient. Actually talking to journalists like Jason, who's here, Jason Sherman from Technically Philly, when those guys are getting 40 pitches or 80 pitches a week, and they have to pick 10 of them. Are they going to pick the ones who hand deliver them the content that they can, hey, I've got everything I need here and I can rip out this article without having to do a lot of background research quickly? Yes, that helps. The multimedia news release with Multiview and Business Wire are around $4,000 a pop. Our solution, we've got a kind of a SaaS model. It can be $4,800 for the year for 12 of them. So you're talking about a significant decrease. Or we can send out one, depending on if it's an agency or kind of a smaller client, between $750 and $1,800.
So just to quickly add to that very quickly, you're benefiting also in the exposure. You get something like 700% more coverage if you have content. And if you make that content easily consumable by your audience, there's exponential benefits there.
Yep. Brad.
So can you tell me how, I'm confused, you said you track the views of the video.
Correct.
If I'm going to download that FLV file or MP4, how do you track that now that I have that raw file on my desk and I'm not watching it in a browser, how do you track that I viewed it? Can you track how far along, if it's a 20-minute video, I got 11 minutes in? Or I stopped at this point? And
right. So in-play analytics, sorry about that. the question was, can we track how far in someone has watched a video? And if we can, how far down the food chain we track a piece of content that's downloaded. Okay. In-play analytics is something we have currently in beta on our end. We haven't put that into our dashboard yet, and that'll tell us that an average that a video is viewed on average X%, and that's something we're in our labs, and it'll be out probably within a year or so. It's a very difficult thing to do. And the other part was about if you download the file, if we track it and how far down. So we track that Brad downloaded the video file and that his email address is this, and he's located in Philadelphia, and he works here, and this is his job title. So we track that far, and that's about as far as we can get. I know Apple tried DRM and tracking, where files go along the food chain. It's very difficult to do, very restrictive, so we don't track past that point. But the embeds, video embed, which is a lot of our content consumption, we have a call and response technology where wherever that's embedded, that embed code responds to us with the URL of the page that it's on, and we have that in a report as well on here. So you'll see under embeds that there's 11,000 views via embed, and these are all the air shows, all these different France Money Orient, all these websites where it's and pages where it's been embedded. Okay, so we have that technology there. Yes.
Would the recipient of the content have to have an account with your platform if you're providing information on that individual working for that company having made the download?
Good question.
Where does that come from?
Repeat the question.
Yep. So the question is, does the person receiving the content need an account with us? And how do we get that information about them if not? Okay. So it's via this process here. And with one click using any of these, the person is saying, let me into the images as fast as possible and the content. I don't feel like creating an account, setting a password and verifying the link and back and forth, which is a big thing in the industry. You have to create an account everywhere you go. So one click here with LinkedIn and you're in, okay? And then by doing that, we scrape your profile and we get all that information and we put it into an Excel report that can be exported. And probably about 30% prefer not to do that, so they can log in with ISEBOX, and that's just simply filling out a form. We track the IP address. We kind of do some loosey-goosey validating on that.
Just to be clear, you only need to log in if you're going to download content. Otherwise, these web pages are going to behave like a normal web page. You can go to URL and type it in. It is mobile responsive. So it allows the journalist to look at this content first and stream it and say, yep, this is something I want, and then access it from there.
Right, so all the content's viewable, but if you want to take it home, you got to pay.
Last question.
First, I'd like to applaud you for the innovations. I think it's really
Thank you.
innovative product. Just in terms of formatting within each publication, what are kind of the protocols when they currently receive press releases, and how does yours, being kind of a different format, do you anticipate that being a challenge to get adoption?
So the question was, how does our innovative or new or different format of a press release change things? And how...
Or how has it been current?
How has it? So everyone that has a press release is trying to get content out, right? And there's always a link in the bottom that says contact this person for content, or go to this link for our Flickr for the images, or go to this YouTube channel for this and that. It's super fragmented. It's all that's pretty much useless, and they still have to email the person anyway. So long story short is our clients replace that link with a link to ISEBOX right in the press release. And that press release goes out typically on a normal wire. Or if they don't want to pay for the distribution that way, they'll just use it through our platform, upload a distribution list. There's a few universities and schools that keep in touch with alumni using our platform and send content. So they'll just upload a list of alumni and send it out via our platform. So there's no friction there. It's just making things easier.
Great. Just a quick question. Is it integrated with Google Analytics? Or?
We have a proprietary analytics platform that it's an open source, but we've integrated into our platform. I don't know if anyone knows about PWIC. If not, pwic.org. Very cool analytics platform.
I can associate with my Google Analytics.
You can. So we have our own, because a lot of our customers don't want their data public and sold, and you can plug in your Google Analytics data if you want to make sure we're not lying to you.
Cool. Thanks.